My name is Jared Foyer, and I am the co-chair of National Faith and Blue Weekend. And you are attending a kickoff meeting for those who are organizing activities for the event, and also those who are a point of contact with law enforcement agencies that we've been working with. So today we're going to have about a 30-minute overview of what we're trying to do with National Faith and Blue Weekend, what you are a part of, and then some important notes about how to participate in the weekend and how to be part of this national event, and what type of follow-up will occur after the event. There is a question and answer button on your Zoom screen. So if you have any questions, please type them in. And at the end of the conversation, I will address them all. With that, let's get started. First, I thought it was important that we go to basics about what we are trying to do and what you are a part of with this event. So we start with the mission, and the mission, as you can see on the screen in front of you, of National Faith and Blue Weekend is to facilitate safer and stronger communities. And the way to do so is by engaging law enforcement officers and local residents through the connections of houses of worship. And in that way, National Faith and Blue Weekend will power a movement where law enforcement professionals and residents build connections that break down divides, decrease biases, increase familiarity, and spur ongoing collaboration. That is what you are a part of. Who we are is a coalition of every major national law enforcement organization in the United States. All of them are collaborating together, from the Fraternal Order of Police to major city chiefs to major county sheriffs to Noble. They are all part of this. And we are working together to jointly organize what will be an historic event of bringing together the community and the police to build stronger connections. As for who I am the Chief Operating Officer of Movement Forward, the organization that is helping to staff this initiative. What I'd like to do now is share a short PSA. This PSA, the presentation, and other resources are available at faithandblue.org/kickoff. And we'll go over at the end of this presentation where to find those resources and what will be made available to you. But for starters, this PSA is available now.
At this period in time in American history, there's nothing needed more than building bridges and breaking down bias and barriers in multiple directions. There's been too much division and polarization in our country today, and the faith community is uniquely positioned to build bridges, to break down barriers, to advocate for fairness, justice, and equity across all communities and sectors. There are no assets in communities that are more valuable and potent than the local faith-based organizations. They have their fingers on the pulses of the communities and neighborhoods in which they serve. They should be collaborating with law enforcement to be the change that we seek.
Mutual trust and respect between law enforcement and the community is the cornerstone of sound and effective policing. We
have not recognized either side, not willing to have those conversations in order to be able to find a path forward. Here's an opportunity. It's one event. One weekend can lead to another, and to another.
This is an opportunity across the country for us to get together in a way that's non-threatening.
This initiative will assist in building bridges and breaking down biases through activities and outreach efforts among law enforcement professionals and the communities that we serve.
It's about respect, honor, partnership, community, love, and doing right. We have many challenges as a nation. We always will. But we have solutions in our hands.
National Faith and Blue Weekend offers a unique way to reinforce connections and collaborations between our policing professionals and the communities in which they serve.
We've done the marching, we've done the protesting, and now it's time to do the heavy lifting, decreasing bias, increasing respect and trust, protecting the lives of young Black and brown and Hispanic and Asian and white men and women, but respecting and honoring and protecting the lives of our law enforcement professionals as well. We have a moral obligation and a sacred responsibility to step up in this moment and say, now we must come together and work across our differences and see that there is in fact more that unites us than there is that divides us. That's what Faith and Blue Weekend is all about.
Every house of worship and every law enforcement agency and organization in the U.S. is urged to get involved by participating in the 2020 National Faith and Blue Weekend, October 9th through the 12th. For more information, visit faithandblue.org or contact the national headquarters.
Together, we can focus on the many ways we are united instead of the few ways we are divided.
And again, this video is available on YouTube, and it is a wonderful way to share it out with your different communities and agencies, and as an introduction to what National Faith and Blue Weekend is all about. Second is one more video that I'm going to share, and this is a video that was posted by the Phoenix Police Department, and it just offers a little bit of a window into the types of efforts that are being originated by agencies across America.
We're excited to announce that Phoenix is officially participating in the National Faith and Blue Weekend, taking place October 9th through October 12th. The new initiative is helping us deepen our connections as we partner with local leaders who reflect the diverse faiths practiced across our city. We'll be hosting several events to engage the entire family. You're invited to tune in on your phone, on your computer, at home, or in the office.
I've been a pastor and a chaplain for more than 30 years. I've witnessed the joy and blessings that can flow when we come together in service for others. I'm calling on all my colleagues to join in and share this good news with your congregations. Let's do our part as servant leaders to be the light for our city.
I wanted to extend thanks to those who've been putting together impactful virtual events that we hope bring us together at a time when it feels like we're so far apart.
Check out the activity list and join us for the event in your area or log in to watch them all.
We look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.
So next, as you can see on the slide, is an overview of all the activities that are taking place across the United States. And actually, this map was pulled a day and a half ago. And since then, another 50 events have come online. So there are over 500 events, probably about this point, about 550, that are occurring in 43 states. And what you can see in this map is that these are events that are happening all across the country. It's not just in red states or blue states. It's not just in cities or rural communities. It is, or in one region of the country. It is truly an initiative that is touching the lives of everyone, regardless of their politics, regardless of where they live. And that is because of all of your hard work in organizing these activities. Next, I just wanted to give a snapshot of the events that you are helping to make happen. First, on the left, you can see the top 10 most frequent events, what are being organized most frequently. But there are many, many, many events that go well beyond this list. You all have come up with a lot of creative activities. You've come up with activities that we would have never thought of. And that's wonderful. That's the point in what we're trying to do here, is really unleash the creativity and the understanding of local communities that you all have. But I think it's worth noting that the two most popular activities are a community dialogue and a community service project. And in that way, what we're talking about here is really bringing people together, opening up discourse and working together to build stronger communities. And on the right side of the screen, you can see some of the 500 events. You can see everything from a viewing of the film Selma and a discussion on law enforcement to a basketball shoot-around contest with youth, and then a conversation on how to better the relationship between law enforcement and the community. There is a cleaning of churches that is happening. There is a mobile food pantry gathering food to feed 1,000 families. There is a Habitat for Humanity build. There is an event for local 11th and 12th grade high school students to have in-depth conversations with officers who patrol their neighborhoods. There's a discussion on the top 5 misperceptions and misconceptions that citizens have about police, and the top 5 misconceptions that police have about parents with a daughter or son who's entangled in the law. There's a drive-up prayer for first responders. There is the actual landing of a state patrol helicopter. There is a service of churches where they will be singing, and that will be open to the community. And there is a social distance college football tailgate event that's going to be held in Ferguson, Missouri. And I think we all know the importance that Ferguson, Missouri plays in the current discourse around policing. So again, this is just a little bit of a snapshot. And if you have time, I encourage you to go to faithandblue.org/events and just look at some of the activities that you all are a part of. This slide shows just one of the crucial conversations, and this is a particular type of discourse that's being had around the country. And this is to really go deep into issues around policing, issues around bias, issues around misperception that can happen in a community, and that is frankly happening all too often. And in this event, you can see that the chief of police, the director of health, a local attorney, a local community advocate, and local clergy are hosting this dialogue. And it's going to be available virtually via Facebook and via the website of the church. And what we found is that there are a lot of events that are in person, but there are a lot of virtual events too. And I think that reflects your creativity in organizing events during a time that's not ideal, during a time of COVID. You all have found a way to make it work, and we are so grateful for that. The next slide talks about photos and videos, which are so crucial to what we are trying to do with National Faith and Blue Weekend. Photos are very, very important. I want to stress that. Videos are important too, and we encourage you to take both. But photos are more easily shared, and they help everyone. They help you, your agency, your church, your organization, and the national organizations tell a visual story of the positive and productive engagement that happens through Faith and Blue Weekend that builds ties between the community and law enforcement. So please take and share lots of photographs and videos. The more, the better. Photos that you take should be shared with the hashtag #FaithAndBlue. Again, it's hashtag #FaithAndBlue. And you should tag them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I really want to stress that. Please use the hashtag. That is how we keep track of the photos. And also, that makes you eligible for a contest. So a committee of the working group that is steering National Faith and Blue Weekend will select 5 photos that they feel most express the spirit of National Faith and Blue Weekend in building connections and mutual understanding. And all that is required to enter is that you tag your photo with hashtag #FaithAndBlue, and you do it by the end of next week, by Friday, October 16th. Though, of course, we ask that you tag it more just when you take the photos during the weekend itself, but you do have until the end of the week. And the winners will receive a commemorative challenge coin, and you can see what those challenge coins look like to the side. They will come in a case. They will feature the Faith and Blue logo, and they will also include a recognition that this award is for the inaugural event. We are going to be doing this every year, and we would love for many of you a decade later to have 10 challenge coins from all the awards you've won. But this one is going to be special because it is the inaugural coin. Next is a media advisory. And if you have not yet issued a media advisory, we encourage you to do so. You can find a Word version of this, a sample document that you can see in front of you that is up at faithandblue.org/kickoff. And with this media advisory, you can enter some basic information. You enter the date, the contact, so who they should reach out to, who media should reach out to, provide a title and a subtitle, and then a who, a where, and a when, and then a short paragraph about the event. And we encourage you to send this to your local newspaper, your local television station. You can find all that information via Google. If you have any questions about any of this, whether it's about the media advisory or sharing any other content, please email us at info@faithandblue.org. We are going to be available all weekend. We are available well in advance of the event, and we will be available after the event as well. So if you have any questions, or you're not sure who to send your media advisory to, or you need help identifying the right contacts to send it to, or any other questions that cross your mind, please send them again to info@faithandblue.org. But we definitely encourage you to do a media advisory. We're providing the template. It shouldn't take long, and it is a wonderful way to get local coverage of your event. And that local coverage is so important because we all see the stories that are happening right now about how we are divided, about how the world and the country is hopelessly divided between one group and another group. And this is a chance to really show how law enforcement and the community are working together, engaging the tough issues, building connections, and that is a story that needs to be shared, and it needs to be shared widely, and that is what the media can help us do. So please, again, create and distribute a media advisory. I encourage you to do it 1 to 2 days before your event. So if you're having an event on Saturday, for example, I encourage you to issue your media advisory on Thursday. If your timing is too tight and you're wondering your event might be on Friday and you can't get to it till Friday, still do it, because newspapers and television stations and radio, they are always looking for new content. And so even if you send it the day of, it's still worth it. But if you can do it a day or two in advance, that is even better. The next slide shares what is going to happen after the event. So you will receive links, 2 separate links that go to 2 separate forums on Wednesday, October 14th. And we are asking you to complete both forums by the following Wednesday, October 21st. The first forum is one to provide feedback for us. This feedback is critical. It will enable us to understand what worked, what didn't work, what we were able to help you with, what we wish you received more help on, what future event organizers should know, what are the successes and what are the challenges. It's just absolutely critical. This is the first year that we're doing National Faith and Blue Weekend, and so we need this feedback to make sure that we produce better and better events in the future. The second is a short write-up of your activity. We're going to receive photographs, but we would love to see stories about what your event was like. And in that way, it will allow us to not only tell the story through images, but it will allow us to share your stories with the media and tell just these wonderful and powerful stories about what you were able to make happen. And to further encourage these write-ups, the authors of all who submit a write-up will be eligible for a raffle, and 5 winners will be selected, and they will also receive a challenge coin. As we get to the conclusion of this presentation, I wanted to note again why it is so important to participate and why now, why what you are doing is so valuable. And the first, as you can see, is that resolution and reconciliation are urgently needed. We are seeing what's happening around the country. We are seeing how law enforcement feels unsupported. We are seeing how members of certain communities feel that they do not have the type of support from law enforcement that they need and want. And COVID has magnified those tensions. It's pushed us further apart. We have not been able to be close to each other. It's created increased polarization. And so we really need, during this time more than ever, to build connective tissue. It's also important now that we have tough conversations about mutual biases. These are the biases that those in the community might have about law enforcement and what law enforcement might have about the community. We really need to open up dialogue. And communities want and deserve solution-oriented leadership, and that is what you are providing. So the follow-up steps, just to recap. Number one, take lots of photos and videos, lots and lots and lots, and tag them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to hashtag Faith and Blue. And you should take pictures of candids, you can take post pictures, really whatever works, but please help us see all the great work you're making happen in your community. And if you're doing an event virtually, take screenshots. Second, issue a media release. That is a way, as I shared, to have your event be covered. Even again, if it's virtual, a media release is wonderful. Third, submit the survey and write-up of your event by Wednesday, October 21st. Now I'm going to open it up to questions and answers. Are there any questions? Please use the question and answer button to send us questions. Right now we have none, so I will just keep you all for a minute or two to see if any questions come in. Okay, so in wrap up, first, a thank you. Again, thank you. All of this is about what you all are doing in putting together events and strengthening your community. So thank you so much for being a part of the inaugural Faith and Blue Weekend. Here is contact information for myself, for the managing director and the deputy managing director of National Faith and Blue Weekend. And you can always use info@faithandblue.org to send us questions or whatever you need, whatever we can do to help. You will receive an email from us probably tomorrow, which will lay out some of these points again, and then stay tuned for the follow-up email to come on Wednesday of next week. So we wish you all the best for a wonderful event. We encourage you to really reach out to us. And again, all our thanks. Good luck and God bless. Take care.